Good morning, children, and welcome to yet another session of journal, that is chapter 9. So, today we are going to go with the steps of journalizing. Let us see what are the steps that we have to keep in mind before making the journal entries. So, here we go with the steps. These are the 3 steps which are going to follow before making any journal entry. Okay, what is the step 1? That is identification of account. We have to first identify that in a transaction, what is the type of the account that we are dealing with. So every transaction has 2 accounts, so we have to identify 2 accounts in each and every transaction. Now what is the second step? Nature of the account. Nature of the account means what type of account it is, whether it is a real account, whether it is a nominal account, or whether it is a personal account. So what is our second step? To find out the nature of the account. And then step 3 is rules of account. What are the rules for a particular account that we are supposed to follow, that we have already done in the previous chapters as well, and in the previous segment also we did the rules. So the rules of the particular account has to be remembered. Now these are the 3 steps, and in short form we can say INR: identification, nature and rules. So these are the 3 steps which we have to follow while we write any journal transaction. Okay, so we just take a look at the rules also once more. What are the rules that we are supposed to follow? First one is real account. Now what is the rule of real? Debit what comes in and credit what goes out. What are real accounts? That we have already done. The types of the assets excluding debtors and bills receivable are called real accounts. Real account means land, building, plant, machinery, equipment, cash in hand, cash at bank. All these are real accounts. Rule is debit what comes in, credit what goes out. When an asset comes inside the business, we say debit what comes in. And when an asset goes outside the business, we say credit what goes out. For example, when we purchase the machinery, we say machinery has to be debited, and when we sell the machinery, then it is called machinery has to be credited. Similarly, if cash comes inside the business, we say debit what comes in, we will debit the cash. If the cash goes outside the business, we say credit what goes out, means we have to credit the cash. So this was the rule for real account. Now nominal account. Nominal account, the rule is debit all the losses and expenses, credit all the incomes and gains. So debit all the losses and expenses. Whenever there is an expense or a loss, we have to debit that particular account. For example, we pay a salary, so we will debit the salary account, that is because it is an expense. And credit all incomes and gains. From whatever account we will get an income or a gain, that has to be credited. For example, sales, we'll get income from sales, so sale has to be credited. So nominal account, the rule is debit all the losses and expenses, credit all the incomes and gains. Now the third account is personal account. Personal account means there can be 3 types of persons: natural, artificial and representative. So in all 3 kinds of persons, we have to follow the rule debit the receiver, credit the giver. So all these rules have to be kept in mind before making the journal entries. Now moving on to some important considerations that we have, that I have already written on the board. I hope that you were able to see that. Okay. So we have written some important considerations over here that you can see on the board. Important considerations for determining cash and credit transactions. Now these 5 steps, 5 considerations have to be kept very, very carefully into your mind before writing any journal transaction. First one is, if the goods purchased or sold on credit. We have to understand that when the goods are purchased or sold on credit, credit means that you are not receiving payment on the moment when you are selling the goods. You are allowing the customer some time that he can make the payment later on. So that is called goods on credit. In Hindi we say udhar pe goods dena. So goods purchased or sold on credit, so that is a credit transaction. Then coming to the second one, goods purchased or sold on cash. If cash word is given in the transaction, it means that it is a cash transaction, and the account which we will use in that particular transaction has to be the cash account if the cash word is given. Now the third consideration that we have to remember, goods purchased or sold to any person and payment of cash is not given. We are selling or purchasing the goods from any person, or we are selling it to any person, but the word cash is not being given, then again it has to be a credit transaction. Unless and until the word cash is not given in any transaction, it cannot be a cash transaction. Okay, then the fourth consideration, goods purchased or sold to any person or and cash is received. Automatically it will become a cash transaction when the cash word is given. Goods purchased or sold to any person and cash is received. So it is a cash transaction. Now the fifth one will be goods purchased or sold to any person, but neither the name of the customer is given nor it is mentioned with the word cash is received or given. If both the things are not given, neither the name of the person is given nor the cash word is given, so we consider it as a cash transaction. So if the goods are purchased or sold but the name of the customer is not mentioned, and it is also not mentioned that whether the cash has been received or paid, then we consider it as a cash transaction. We have to remember all these 5 points very carefully before making any journal entry. These are the 5 important considerations. So I hope to see you in the next video with more explanation.